Okay. Beginning my back testing stream. Right now I'm looking at YM and NQ and ES. Look at the indices. We're analyzing September price action earlier this year. We're kind of at all-time highs right now. Yesterday we had a very bearish candle on the 4 hour. It's very bearish, but we had an SMT at this level. At these highs right here, just an SMT reversal. Um, yeah, YM, a ton of a bearish expansion as you see here on the 4 hour. Overnight we get a little bit of retracement, um, but mainly just consolidation here. On NQ, it looks like a little bit more retracement. What can we expect this 4 hour expansion candle to make? We'll be looking for 1 hour gaps. So we can see we took out this high on NQ and we're above the high as well on YM. So currently no SMT. That's our 13 candle. Yeah, so currently no SMT at any levels right now. You know, we can consider this SMT yesterday kind of finished. You could potentially target this low and this low. Um, like that would be a valid target and view this as kind of a expansion with a retracement and view this as like a continuation entry. But what would we require to get a continuation entry? We'd require an SMT in one of these gaps. And we can't really confirm that it's a continuation. Like this could just be an SMT to form retracement into a bullish trend. So right now we kind of just have to wait and see what we can get. Okay. So in this gap we form an SMT with YM going lower and NQ going higher. And what do we see here? We get a two-stage profile. We actually get a two-stage SMT um inside of this gap, which could be a sign to go lower. How relevant is this two-stage SMT? If we scale down to the 30-minute, I don't feel like we're hitting really any relevant highs. That's my only issue with this. Um, I don't really feel like we're tapping into like any severely relevant ranges here. Unless I see expansion away from these lows, like look at this chop though. Jesus. Yeah, let's look for gaps on the 15. Yeah, it looks a little bit cleaner on the 15. I kind of retrace here into this gap right here, and on NQ, we're kind of just above these gaps. So you could also view this as if you go to the hourly, maybe there's something on the 4 hour here actually. Yeah, as you can see, there's an SMT on YM or with YM here. Um, SMT with YM on the 4 hour candle, which would make this. So that's the closure of our 5M candle or 2 to 5M candle. So this would be the C2. We have SMT at that range. This being the high on YM of that candle. Comes down. This is the opening. So this is our. What time do we take this high out? Creating that 4 hour SMT. Five. That's 6. That's 6. So that candle's here. So that's our actual two-stage SMT. So we could view it as this across the 4 hour candles with the confirmation of this hourly candle. And then here we kind of get a strength switch. And what do we get? Expansion away. What about closure? CISD below this low. Right here, YM's technically our strongest asset. Or sorry, our weakest asset. Technically, we're just going for shorts. We have these relevant liquidity levels to chase today. So yeah, two-stage SMT kind of in this gap right here. Looks pretty good to me. What we got here on YM? We get expansion away over. We created a CISD here. So a valid entry could be a short position. Stop on this body. Draws to these lows. For 5.7 mark. But I honestly want to see more confirmation. We didn't really get a clean V shape away. Whereas on NQ, this is more of a clean V shape in my opinion. Um, right now we're kind of seeing some retracement on Q. We're gonna look for retracement into 15-minute gaps, and maybe we can print a PSP two stage, sorry, in a gap and look for an entry there. So let's take us to market open. Yeah, so as you can see, we continue up. So good, no entry there. We have to want to wait for more confirmation. And now we're at ship. That's our 9:30 opening, 15-minute candle. Wow, what's this? Okay. So that two-stage SMT is most definitely invalidated, but what do we get here? C2, strong sheet C2 closure, and we still have these lows intact. So we can look for gaps maybe on this 4 hour candle and look for retracement entries on the next C3. Look for the opening wick and try to get an entry if as long as it, respects this equilibrium. Try to get an entry to those lows because we have. Oh, all right, this SMT. Never mind. This SMT was broken here. So we actually no longer have this SMT. We no longer really have this entry. That's YM prints at PSP. Um, great. I mean, now we can probably look at the opening 15-minute range. Coming into market open, we have these highs, these highs. Now I just feel like we can look to maybe break a consolidation with manipulation. We have, these draws on liquidity here on YM. This SMT was invalidated. We have 645. 645. Pretty much this is low. NQ trades down, YM trades up. Let's get to the 10 o'clock opening because this isn't like interesting me. YM goes down and it's looking like it's going to come out down and take this relevant liquidity here. The only thing we can really look for is a retracement in this gap and on the 4 hour. It's a strong closure. It's a CISD closure here. YM. No SMT, but it's a PSP here. NQ closing bearish. Yeah, so honestly, for me, I'm just gonna look for retracement and maybe an entry there, unless NQ just comes down and takes it. So here, potentially, no SMT, maybe a VS, no SMT in the gap. Um, what do we see? Weirdly, we get this two stage with YM. Not sure, like, really what the relevance of that would be. Is that a confirmation? That's in the gap. Um, that's technically a reversal confirmation. Let's go down to the 3 and the 1 minute. Shit, look at the 1 minute. Let's get down to the 3 minute. So yeah, for NQ, maybe an entry. If we got a closure here, stop on the bodies. Are we targeting? Yeah, 1.6. That's just not a trade. So now we can see what YM did. Well, I mean, that's unfortunate, honestly. I was gonna say we can see if because I'm not gonna trade a 1.4 risk to reward. I mean, honestly, like obviously it's gonna come take this liquidity, but we're not scalpers, bro. We're trading at least 2R, we're trading 3R, 4R, like we're not scalping that trade down to that low, even though and like we didn't have the CISD closure there. Like where do we get the CISD closure? Here. So I mean like you're still getting in on that level. And your trade, I mean yeah, the trade I put would have hit. You can, I guess, go 2R past, but now you have the worry of a reversal. Just not a trade for me, honestly. But we do get a ton of bearish expansion on YM, which sucks because I was gonna try to take a lagging asset trade. Let's see if NQ reverses, dumps through YM. I'm assuming goes and takes the low. Yeah. All right. So there was a trade for those of you that trade 1 to 1, but I don't do that personally. Let's just get to it tomorrow. I'm trying to get better at like not trading every day. Like if I don't see my model, I don't trade. That's like the most important thing in trading, by the way. So there, I simply didn't see my model, and you might disagree with me, but I just didn't see my model, so I didn't trade. Fills in a little gap right there. We take out Friday's high, or sorry, low. And YM failed to take out the weekly opening low, or at least last Friday's low. How relevant really is Friday's low, though? It was already taken out by this, so I feel like that's not valid. So coming into tomorrow, let's yeah, I did all the analyzing on like at the 8:30 open. I forgot to get it to the actual opening of the market, which is important a little bit. So let's start with the daily. So what do we do here? We open low. We expand lower into last Thursday's low of day. We're above the low, below low on ES. So NQ being our strongest asset, YM or ES honestly being our weakest asset, but I'm gonna say YM because I don't really trade ES like that. ES is like the middle asset. Um, yeah, when you're looking at like relevant lows, like you're looking at space in between lows, like this could be relevant low because there's a lot of space in between these, and there's a good amount of space here. That's a pretty relevant low. So, and why I'm tapping that and creating, I guess it'd be this SMT right here. No, am I tripping? Or weren't we above? Wasn't NQ our strongest? Yeah, we're above Thursday, the 18th low, and we're below Thursday, the 18th low. We have Thursday, the 18th. That would be the low right there, but it says we're below it. Make it make sense. So no SMT there, anyways. What do we get? A ton of right now London expansion into these levels. What does our draw begin to look like? This opening gap right here. So this was a weekly opening gap from like 2 weeks ago. So honestly, we can expect that to be the draw on liquidity. And we get this retracement here. We get an SMT at that high on the 4 hour overnight. And you kind of get expansion away. It's an SMT. I just can't mark it out perfectly. And then you get expansion away on NQ or on all three assets. So now we're kind of looking for a continuation model, in my opinion. We probably created hourly gaps here. We take out this low. I feel like this is our target. We have a deep failure swing here on YM. NQ already kind of swept this opening gap though. But we still, I mean, we could take out this relevant low here. So, all right. So what can we look for? Probably retracement into any of these hourly gaps to create SMT. Because currently I'm not seeing much here, to be honest. Okay, actually, you have a pretty relevant SMT like that. Trumping that one. You do get the V-shape reversal away from there. But yeah, then again, nothing like too relevant, honestly, in my opinion. Check day 15. High right here. Maybe a level we want to see liquidity gets swept. Like maybe an SMT at that level. We have a gap right here, but we traded into both assets. So for continuation lower, kind of just looking at SMT and a gap. What do we get this morning? Take out these lows. V-shape reversal island. Wow. Um, yeah. Look at this morning. Take out yesterday's low overnight in like London session time, and completely V-shape reversal out of it with an SMT. That's crazy. Yeah, wow. And then we kind of just validate that SMT idea. So let's play the first 15. Straight dump. Create an SMT here. I feel like I want to say like I'm missing like an SMT or something, but I don't think I am. Yeah, I think this is definitely our target. We get SMT inside of this 15-minute gap, which was inside of this hourly continuation candle. So now, looking at the 3-minute, we kind of retest the short-term high, and Q kind of trades through it, but I mean, we should expect some retracement here. Now we're looking for an SMT to get on with this move because I mean, yeah, there was an SMT at these highs, but bro, I'm not about to trade at 9:32 in the market. Like there's you don't really want to trade the first 15 minutes. There's so much not even like manipulation because I don't really believe in stocks trying to manipulate your trades. Like no one's out to get you, but there's just a lot of volatility and a lot of stuff happening at market open. Uh, there's got to be something, right? It's a 9:35 candle. YM trades up into it. Um, gets the closure through, holding bullish. Maybe check the 15. And so on the 4 hour, what are we really looking at happening right now? That's our hourly SMT. Um, just expansion out of nowhere. Like no C1, C2, like no nothing, just expansion. So, I mean, we might just be late to this move, like, honestly. No SMT in the gap here. Okay, we get some more retracement. So, let's look on the 15 and see if it's anything. Yes, and Q look very correlated right now. Very, very correlated. So YM actually comes up and is looking to take out this high again. Takes out this high we were talking about earlier. Okay. And Q comes up and takes it out. So this is like a clean reversal now, but off of what? Off of absolutely nothing. That's why we're not going to get bullish here. Like there is not any like really relevant liquidity that was taken out. I guess you could say that, but that was taken out at 850. Came down, swept it again, held for 20 minutes, and then reversed. No, that's not what we're looking at. We're not looking at a reversal of that. Um, uh, could be just retracement. Yeah, still isn't taking it out. Probably not a trade for us here, if I'm being honest. We take out this high and then kind of stall price for a little. This is pretty awful. Even on the 30-minute, can we find it? Something. Something to get in on because we have all this 4 hour expansion. On the 4 hour, if we want to trade the continuation, that's something I have to note. Do you respect the 50% equilibrium of this candle? We wick into it. Wicking into it is still respecting it. So as of right now, yes, we are. And in that, we can find invalidation levels of trading the short and the closure above. Like if you wicked into this, we closed above this high, which I would say is an invalidation point, like a pretty relevant invalidation point because it's near the 50%, like honestly higher, and then we get a hourly closure. So I would say trading the short idea here is invalidated in my opinion, and I just played out that hourly candle, and it looks like it definitely was. So we kind of hit this high except price. YM kind of trades lower for a second. Yeah, I'll be honest, this is pretty bad price again. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. I mean, why not post this video? But two pretty awful trading days to start. Here we are coming into the 14 o'clock candle. So we did end up just continuing down, but off of what? Like, I guess an SMT there. I don't know, that's the 815. 815, you could say. Yeah, I'm not really sure that I'm trading this. I'm not really sure I'm trading this. Ever taking that short. Like, there's just nothing to really validate that trade. What can we look for? Maybe a 4 hour idea. But we just had all this like pre-market expansion. Like you can't really, unless it's being expansion met with expansion, then you can't really expect more continuation in this day. So I'm honestly not gonna trade this. I'm willing to see what happened, what will play out. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, nothing really happened. Like who's taking it short from here to this high? Pretty awful. Pretty awful. Whatever. It's over. The bad days are over. That was ugly though. Straight up. I don't know to be similar said that. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so coming into the next day. And guys, what I'm trading is my model. Like I've just been learning a ton about psychology and like the psychology of trading and like had this been a regular day, there might have been a fire setup on gold or silver. But I'm kind of just back testing YMNQ and ES, and like you're not gonna get a trade every single day on YM and like if you just trade YMNQ and ES, like a good week is you're really seeing your model set up 3 times a week. Three, four. I mean, four would be insane. 3 times a week is like a great week. That's why mastering like silver and gold and other assets is so important. And like crude oils is my next venture. Just figure out like kind of how they work because I feel like I have YM and ES down pretty good. But this is definitely like not trading that price, although it's boring and it feels unproductive. that was very productive because I didn't lose. My model wasn't there and I didn't lose. And yesterday I had like the best trading day of my life. I had a 6-to-1 trade on gold. Everything was there, like SM two-stage SMT, like the continuation, SMT in the gap, CISD closure, like all that stuff with like, relevant liquidity to be taken, failure swings to that liquidity, like just everything kind of fell into place and I hit the best trade of my life. And then today there was a trade where I was like, I literally have one confluence, which was like an SMT, and I was like, this isn't a tradable market, yet I still forced myself to take a trade. I literally identified that it wasn't a tradable market. Then the mentor I followed, GXT, Garrett Trading, um, he messaged in like the Discord I'm in. He was like, yeah, this is not tradable price. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I literally just said it wasn't tradable. And as soon as I got my trade, I'm like, if I can just get in a profit, I'm going to pull out of this trade. And then end up getting stopped out. But so you might as well let it. At that point, I was like, I might as well let this ride. But yeah, that was like, after such a good day of like patience and waiting for my model, I just like screwed myself. But no, the reality of trading is it's gonna look a lot like this backtesting session. Like this is boring shit. We're not seeing anything fun. Like this is boring. I don't want to be doing this. Honestly, that sucked. And what do we get here again? Like a decent amount of expansion in the London session, but no, we can definitely still expect some expansion overnight. I think this is actually good. I want to see some relevant levels tapped into, some SMTs created. Got some actual relevant levels, not just like SMTs between the candles. Like, give me something, man. So right now, we have SMT there with these two candles. Get expansion away. Where's that SMT? So there's with this low and this low. The 1 o'clock and the 5 o'clock candle. The 1 o'clock and the 5 o'clock candle. Could it be with the 7 o'clock candle? Mm-hmm. 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 You guys seeing this? What candle takes out this low or this low? Doesn't really matter. Just this consolidation area and like relevant lows in this gap. What takes that out? The 5 o'clock candle. And what? Here we go. That's the 5 o'clock candle right there. Where do we see the next SMT? Right there with this candle. So we do have a 2-stage. We get the expansion away. YM being our stronger asset. Higher time frame objectives would be the high in this hourly gap. Could be this high potentially, which we just hit. And then Q be these. Kind of trading through. I feel like this is more low resistance highs. I feel like this would be the main draw on liquidity. And it was an SMT high, so this could kind of like a resync here. So what do we see? Expansion on the 8 o'clock. So we had a 2-stage. Now we'd be looking for a continuation and a 1-stage SMT. Just an SMT in this gap. And maybe there's something for us. What do we create on the hourly? 30-minute gaps. We also create 15-minute gaps. We traded to them. Nothing yet, but it looks like we could potentially get SMT here, like that. If NQ is able to push down below this. So let's see. Let's open price up. Oh yeah. NQ sweeps out these lows, goes all the way down to this, this fair value gap down here, the 730, taking out just those balances on YM. We see the same thing. Once again, it's 930. The relevant liquidity is right there. Your entry would be on this CISD. Your liquidity attached in your buy. Your stop would be there. And once again, the target is sadly 1R. Could you technically go for these? Because that's not really relevant. Yes, but I feel like I would need. I feel like I would need more confirmation. Like we had expansion wave, but that was like the first CISD created after. This is a tough one. I'll say that this is a tough one. Because that's a low resistance level. Like honestly, you're not likely to reverse off of that. Um, yeah, I don't know. We can just let it play. What? At this point, you're hitting 2R. I mean, at that point, you're hitting 3.2R. Has the retreat been invalidated though? No, there's been no invalidation, so there's really no point to not let this ride. You get stopped out. What do you up and get though? I mean, you get 3R, depending on what you trade. Like, I don't think there was enough stars line to really chase this high. I don't think it was a relevant enough pull on liquidity either. So I think, pulling out a 3R, and I usually, a lot of times I trade 2R. I'm trying to shy away from that. I'm trying to take profit at highs, like no matter what the risk to reward is. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. We may have gotten wicked out at that low. I didn't want to say it, but it's possible. But no, it's a good trading idea there. NQ, what does NQ do? What? Look at that. I almost took NQ to that high, honestly. I mean, yeah, so once you hit 3R though, or whatever, like two, like you can probably just go break even. Especially when you're seeing candles like this, like strong bearish candles, especially like this, like this. I've already seen this one starting to form. Like, I don't know, you're seeing those confluences, and like it wasn't a great two-stage. Um, and you kind of miss this whole move, and you're getting in late to the entry, and your high right there that's relevant in a gap is like that. Yeah, I think it's okay to take profit there. What do we hit? So this is a high time frame node here. I hit all these orders. Order block right there. Yeah. And then we get some expansion down. Thank you. With a pretty relevant SMT. We can check what it looks like on the 4 hour. If it really is relevant. Alright, so with these 4 hour candles, we actually have SMT. Like that. So this is the C2. Inside of a gap, we have an SMT. Which is not at a very relevant level. I mean, I guess you could say actually, YM kind of took out this high, and then we formed an SMT at the high. So we have SMT also with those. So potentially, you could view this as an SMT on the higher time frame, and then confirmation when YM hits the high. With this one. Yeah, you could target, maybe YM to these lows, or NQ to these lows, these lows here. Am I really loving that trade though? No, the answer is no. You're really not. There's just not enough. If you want to confirm a reversal, I guess overall this is a continuation play for the past couple of days. But it's a deep retracement, so and you just took out this high. So if you want to confirm a reversal, you require a two-stage SMT to confirm that, which we fail to get on any time frame. So maybe some continuation away. SMT in a gap, and we could target those lows on NQ. Okay, here we go. Could be setting up nicely. 15, we get a 15-minute 10 o'clock gap, possible SMT inside that gap. The 10 o'clock gap, we don't even trade into it on YM. Just 10 minutes. We're gonna see. $10 gap. I'm trying to get a PSP. Well, 30-minute, that's a PSP closure, but the 30-minute candle close, I actually don't know. Yeah, so that 30-minute candle closes a PSP. What do we have? A SMT in the gap here with YM. Looks a little bit cleaner here. Okay, the 10 minutes whack. I don't know what the hell is up with that. It's weird. Kind of a V shape out of that reversal. Yep, V shape away here. Strength switch. Overall, on the higher time frame, NQ is weaker, so we'll be looking for an entry on NQ. Can't get my. Can I get two? We can get two. That's not a close enough CISD for me. Shoot. It'd be hard to trade this because we never got a CISD closure. Down here. 1.86. Honestly, not awful. Let's go for two. We never got a CISD at any of these levels. So, and here we actually get an entry on YM. Let's say to chase this low. But it's also the weakest asset. But we get a strength switch here. It's technically a two-stage, right? See that? Weaker. Yep. NQ is the weaker asset overall. So it would make more sense to trade NQ here. Idea gets invalidated. I'm just gonna set that there, trade away. And as soon as you kind of see this consolidation, it wouldn't be a bad idea to trim your losses. Like it would not be a bad idea to trim your losses. So if you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there. You could easily get out of here by trimming half your losses, going to that low as like as you see all this chop right here. Easily could like take your losses in half. Uh, yeah, I mean the idea is kind of invalidated. You want to, and the reason this trade would not normally be taken, as I was saying, is like you don't have a CISD closure. Like it's so far away. It's right here. That's your first valid CISD. So what you would you be trading there? 1.4R, really 1.3R to the low. We don't trade 1.3R. So in reality, I mean, in a real day, I don't necessarily think that's a valid trade. So it's been tough price action. Hit me with your best shot. Down, down. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for tuning in. I don't even think we had that one trade go up and hit 3R, and the last trade we just took was like just so questionable and stuff without the CISD closure or really a higher time frame narrative to that low. I mean, it was kind of we were in a continuation, but without the CISD closure, like you're not trading that. And then the other one, um, yeah, if you want to hold, I like to hold, and then there you probably would have gone break even at around 3R, or at least trimmed your losses. But we didn't even have a valid point to really, like a logical point to go to. Like you could maybe just logically go break even at 3R. Um, yeah, but overall that was 4 days. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's probably we probably lost a little bit of money, or we went break even because I mean that trade we just the one we just took, I don't think I'm taking in real life to 1.4. That's awful. And also require CSD closure. Always wait for candles to close. That's like the most important thing about trading. Because if you think about it, if you're back testing, this is what I was thinking about the other day. If you're back testing all this time, and like learning what from back testing, sorry, if you're back testing all this time and like waiting for candle closures and stuff, um, you're going to not be used to like the candle forming in the actual market. So like I used to backtest a lot more like before my eval and like had never had real market experience and like I was getting into trades like before candle closures because I would see it go below and like confirm the CISD then wake it back up or something. When you're backtesting, you're always using candle closures, so you kind of take it for granted. But in the actual market, like if you don't wait for the close of the candle, you're going to definitely get invalidated in a ton of trades. So that's definitely not a trade I would take just because of that. But the other trade, I mean, I'll be honest, even the one that hit 3R, none of these trades were really that good. That one probably got stopped out too. It was a bad day, but thanks for watching.